In order to the meeting of the Greenwood Common Council on Monday, March the 21st. If you would please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, and after that, remain standing will be led in prayer this evening by David Owens, chaplain for the Arvine Franklin Senior Life Community.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. God of all, we obviously thank you for our city of Greenwood. We ask for your wisdom and inspiration for our leaders tonight. Thank you for this beautiful day and so much to celebrate. But God Almighty, give us eyes to look at the world. Help us to see that there's places that are war ravaged tonight and places in Ukraine that are like us. For February 24th, they were peace loving. They were folks that went to work and school and had their families and did all the things that were right. There was probably even a city council in that city of Styrie, Ukraine. But tonight they're under pressure. They're under war. Their lives are ripped apart. So we ask your blessings upon them. Let them know that somewhere around the world they're being prayed for in Greenwood, Indiana. Help us to all be sensitive to the needs of our friends and Lord, to hold our enemies up in prayer that they can come to peace in this world. They can know peace. We praise your name for so many blessings here tonight. But Lord, also make us sensitive that the world isn't perfect, that other folks are suffering tonight. We praise your name. Thank you for our city of Greenwood, Indiana. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call.
Bates,
Present.
Campbell,
Here.
Foster,
Here.
Gibson, Hill.
Here.
Conley, Lexi,
Here.
Middleton,
Here.
and Williams.
Here. We have a quorum. All of you should have received copies of the minutes from our regular meeting of March the 7th. Do I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Bates, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Foster. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, then roll call on the minutes.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Hill, Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
Middleton,
Aye.
and Williams.
Aye.
Minutes are approved on a vote of 7-0 with 1 abstention. Reports, Corporation Council.
The items in the monthly is now uploaded to SharePoint. You can contact the legal department for any questions.
Anything from the controller at this time?
Out of this time.
Committee and board reports. All of you should have received my report from the RDC, last RDC meeting. If you have any questions, please let me know. Any other committee or board reports?
Yes, Mr. President, the Plan Commission did meet a week ago. As scheduled, the primary item of business was approval of a primary plat for Lincoln Place. Leonard Holmes requesting approval of a primary plat for 43.59 acres, 122 lots, located at the southeast corner of Pushville Road and Emerson Avenue, and with the request for 2 waivers, which were both granted.
Any other committee or board reports? All right, this is an opportunity we set aside for public comments. Tonight, we have Cheryl Dobbs from the Greenwood Public Library with us. So Cheryl, we'll turn it over to you. No.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joshua Jackson. I'm your appointee to the trustee board over at the library. And I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to serve. I've been vice president for this is my 3rd term. Enjoyed it immensely. We're doing some great things over there. You know, awesome to see the construction. And moving over to Cheryl's got a lot of good news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Thanks again for your appointment of Josh, and you guys always step up and help us out with our board. And the mayor appoints somebody and you appoint, and that really helps us have a solid board. And we've always had a board compared to other libraries, I think, where they're all library users and they're all Greenwood people who love serving. So thank you for that. I wanted to give you an update on 2021. So I handed you, in your packet there is our annual report, just at a glance for 2021. I'll let you read that. I won't go over it in detail. Don't want to keep you too long tonight, but I want to especially report on some of the work we've done on our bond. In 2020, we came before you requesting a replacement bond that was meant to improve the infrastructure and repair and do some maintenance on our building, as well as some remodeling. And we are in the process of that. I had hoped to be standing here today saying it's done, but it's not. I'm sure you can all relate to projects that take a little bit longer than you anticipated. So 2021 was a tough year. We had a lot of material delays and some work shortages from our subcontractors that pushed this project. It's going to end now probably in June of this year. So we have spent more than it shows here. That's the 2021 expenditures of 1.3 million. About now, we're almost at halfway with this, with the payments we've made. The project itself is a little bit further than that, and will be done, I think, by the mid-June, end of June. So that's kind of where we're at financially on the bond. And then, I've been director for about as long as Mayor Myers has been at the city. And so I've been to a lot of State of the City addresses, and I hear him talk about the 4 pillars. And I know you guys hear that a lot too. And infrastructure is one of those things. So I kind of framed my report along with some of those pillars to show you that we're also working to the good of Greenwood in some of the same ways. So what I'm calling infrastructure for the library is hardscape, some of the big parts of our project, like the roof. You're seeing here just a patio that's on the west side of the library that's been redone. New lighting's going into that area today, and that lighting will continue around the building and match what is in that west parking lot that belongs to the city and the park. So all of our lighting will be the exact same lighting that you're seeing in that whole area. Our hardscape is meant to reflect what's in the park. So when we're all done, we should have a building and a landscape plan that just flows. You're not going to go from the park to the library to the community center and think those are all 3 different things. You're going to feel like that's all the city of Greenwood and all very contiguous. We are also, it's not exciting to talk about, we're also redoing the dumpster area, which is kind of an eyesore. We know, might have been mentioned here by somebody once, that is an eyesore. But it's a lot better with some gating and just refreshment of that area. Our roof is being redone. We are not tearing it off and redoing it. The center third of our roof was not insulated ever. So we are insulating it, re-roofing it. Now it's all equally insulated, as well as better gutter capacity and downspouts and storm drains, all those exciting things. But it really matters, when you have a heavy storm and you have somebody's car washed away by what's coming off the roof, we're excited to see that working a little better. And they already mentioned the lighting that's coming. We work a lot on quality of life in our library. And that's just a matter of meeting the needs of our community as they arrive in the library. In the last 5 to 6 years, we have had a lot of supervised visits taking place in the library, and not just supervised visits, but occupational therapy, all have play therapy, basically social workers or therapists meeting their clients in our facility, because it's a lot better than a cold office. And there's a park next door, and there's books to read and programs to go to. So we've really kind of tried to meet that challenge, and we are creating the GPL living room, which will be especially outfitted for those kinds of meetings. And people ask me, well, why would you want to do that? Why do you want to do, social worker stuff? Well, because the people that we're meeting through those encounters are generally at-risk families who are not readers. They don't come to the library. A lot of them don't have books at home. This has not been part of their experience. Once they have come to our library weekly for these often 4-hour visits, by the end, the families are, we hope, reunited. And we see those families coming back and signing up for programs, continuing to check out books. And a lot of those little kids will end up reading 1,000 books before kindergarten, which is a huge indicator of success by 3rd grade. So we are excited by the opportunity to reach those families that are maybe a little bit at risk. We're also adding in this process a few things to the children's department, not a lot because we have recently redone that area, but we're adding some interactives. This is a picture of the kind of wall we're going to put in called an Everbright. Think of Light Bright. I bet you all had Light Brights. I hope you did. except all the little pegs would get lost and other papers got used up, and then that was it. So this is like a permanent library that anybody can use. It's made for multiple kids and adults to play on at the same time. So we're excited about some of those interactives that are coming. All new shelving, our shelving is all 25 years plus. Don't want to see wobbly tall shelving, so we're going to be replacing all of that. And not related to our bond, but we've been working hard on our collection. So if you haven't heard the term subject savvy, that is what we've been working on for 4 years. I bet you haven't heard of Dewey Decimal System. Been to school and you had to go look up, well, maybe you're not old enough to look in the card catalog, probably not, but I am old enough to look in the card catalog. And then you have to go find the books by the numbers. Well, subject savvy just translates those numbers back into words. So now when you come in and you're thinking poetry, you don't need to figure out what number that is. You just go to the poetry section. It's not strictly like people think of, well, it's a bookstore. No, it's more like cataloging than that. So just like all those numbers represented words, we just translated that right back. It's been in process for 4 years. We are done. We've touched every book in the collection. We've relabeled. I mean, it's been such a strenuous process. Really, everybody in the library has been involved. But I would put our collection now up against any similarly sized library. We know our collection. We've been able to make good decisions about how to curate it, how to make it what our community wants. And we're really proud of it. So that's something we've accomplished in 2021 and the beginning of 22. So economic development, you probably don't think of us as part of economic development, but business is happening at the Greenwood Public Library. And because of that, we're reaching out to try to meet that need in a better way. About 4 years ago, we had maybe 4 study rooms, and they were always busy, just constantly booked. So we added and we went up to 7. Now we're going up to 11. These are some of our new study rooms with no doors because doors are on back order. So we'll get doors eventually. But we're also adding a new boardroom. So our boardroom used to be kind of hidden back by my office on the southwest corner. Now it's going to be kind of out and open. We'll use it, but we'll also make that available to businesses who are coming and meeting and need a little more formal setting for a brainstorming session or for a board meeting. It'll have virtual meeting tech in the room, as well as a huge glass marker board so they can do their business and be a very protected space. We also, about 3 years ago, told you about our new studio, which is on the 2nd floor on the southeast corner. And that studio has things like a 3D printer, a large format printer, so businesses can print posters or banners. And instead of going to Kinko's and spending a fortune, they're going to be able to do it very reasonably or for free with us. 3D printer, we have things for families, including sewing machines, Cricut machines, if you know what that is. You can translate your home slides or pictures to digital. We have all kinds of equipment in there. So popular that we decided to expand it. So in that bottom left picture, you see the part that stretches over to the left, that's the expansion of the studio. Above that picture is a picture of the Glow Forge, which is our new piece of equipment, which is what made your poster today. About 2 o'clock today, I walked into my assistant director's office and said, man, I wish we had something from the Glow Forge to show the city council tonight. She's like, we could do that. So in about an hour and a half, we made your posters on the Glow Forge. Very simple job. You can do a lot more intricate work with layers and 3D. You can do a lot more, but an hour and a half, that's what we could do. So just an example of some of the things that businesses could create for their own use to give away to their customers, or if a bar wants, custom coasters, or if somebody wants a giveaway for their employees. We are here in the studio to help them, like, just level up their creative efforts, whether they're an individual or a business or an entrepreneur. We're here with that equipment that maybe they couldn't afford otherwise. The Glow Forge can engrave on wood, felt, leather, acrylic, you name it. You can even engrave the top of your laptop if you're really great, but I'm not. On the bottom right of that slide, you'll see our new business area. We have a lot of people, like I said, who have business meetings, also just people who work from home, right? Nobody works traditionally much anymore. A lot of people don't have an office they go to, but they might not want to stay home with kids. So they come to the library to work. So we're creating a space with, this is an example of some of the seating that we'll have. Think of a business incubator style furnishings, even that's not really our goal. That's the feel we want for people who are coming to work in our space, either as a collaborative group or as individuals. And that's it. That's my whole presentation. If you have any questions for me, other things in your packet to look at are the Scoop, which is our newsletter. That's what's going on right now. I also gave you a little flyer about our sensory kits. We have a lot of kiddos in our community who have sensory issues. And those kits allow parents to check out certain kinds of resources that might help their child attend. So like think of a weighted blanket, a weighted vest, shaded glasses, noise canceling headphones, all those sorts of things that help kids with sensory issues to perform better in their studies. That's a lot.
Thank you very
I
much.
could
Any
go on, but
questions?
I'll stop.
What did you say these were?
Those are 3D printed bookmarks.
And so you made them there as well in-house? Impressive.
Continually impressed by y'all's innovation and foresight, and you're a real asset to the city. We appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, this is time for members of the audience to address the council concerning items that are on tonight's agenda. So if you're here tonight and wish to address us concerning an item on the agenda, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, or if you're online, please speak up. Hearing none, then moving on to ordinances and resolutions. There's nothing under notice of intent to consider first reading or second reading. New business introductions and new ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 2206.
An ordinance providing for an additional appropriation in the American Rescue Plan Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund to budget classification 431, $80,400 for modernization of cybersecurity for the Information Technology Department, sponsored by Bates and Foster.
Mr. Wright?
Good evening. As I mentioned in the email I sent out on this, we are in the process of trying to redo our cybersecurity insurance. One of the messages we have received from the broker is that we need to have a couple of specific items in place, cybersecurity wise, to even get a quote from the vendors on this. One of those is what they call multi-factor authentication. You probably see it a lot with your banking where they want to send you a text message with a code in order to log in. They want us to have that for the city systems, as well as training program on cybersecurity, specifically related to phishing emails, helping staff be able to recognize and avoid those. And then also to do some offsite storage of our backups. Those are the main things that they want in place in order to even quote us for cybersecurity insurance. This particular item would fund a one-year contract with Sondai Solutions. They do cybersecurity consulting. They would get us set up with those particular, the MFA, multi-factor authentication. They get us set up on that, help us to get the offsite storage arranged, and then also put us on a training program for the employees.
Any questions for Mr. Wright?
I just have a question. Is there any need for expediting this?
If we could do through first reading tonight, then the public hearing next week would also be our adoption, which would be wonderful, so we can push that along.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Sorry.
Bring it in for first reading.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Bates to suspend the rules on ordinance 2206 through first reading. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Mr. Lexi. Any discussion on suspension? Hearing none, then roll call.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Hill, Hopper,
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Middleton.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Rules are suspended to first reading on ordinance 2206 and a vote of 8-0. Do I have a motion on first reading? Mr. Foster makes that motion second.
Second.
So now Mr. Bates, any discussion? And then roll call, ordinance 2206, first reading.
Campbell,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Middleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Bates.
Aye.
Ordinance 2206 passes first reading 8-0.
Thank you very much.
All right, miscellaneous business. This is a second opportunity for members of the public to address the council, this time though concerning items not on the agenda. So if you're wishing to address the council tonight, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, or if you're online, please speak up. Hearing none, then moving on, miscellaneous business from the council, just to note, all of you have a large map at your desks. That was requested by Ms. Gibson from the planning department, and it is a map of the industrial areas out east of 65. Just so you know. Anything, we have some CF1s. Greenwood Practice RE.
Well, I guess I have a question.
Okay,
So the CF1 says that the SB1 had 46 jobs, retained 33, 13 new ones. I'm trying to figure out why, say 94 jobs, 1,307 total jobs.
That is what they reported on their SB1.
The original one? or-
Yes, correct.
They're not even close.
Yes, from the CF1.
But their letter claims that, hey, we're we're knocking it out of the park, so I guess. Did they mess up the original SB one? Is it supposed to be what the CF one has on there?
the original SB1. Is that the form? No, that's the
No, that's the CF one.
Yeah. everything's-
It shows,
And at the same time, we must have approved it last year, right? So
it's been a couple of years.
Would you like someone to come in and discuss it?
I don't know if they need to come in and discuss it, but maybe we just need to ask them, was the original SB one wrong? What are these numbers mean? Or is the 42 retained jobs that they currently have, plus the 11 new jobs for 53, like last year, is that new for this year? How do we reconcile that with 107 jobs that they say they're supposed to have with 11.6 million salaries, I guess?
They're also down last year. So do you want to have them come in?
If they can't explain it to us in an email or something, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we need some sort of explanation from them.
Of course, I'll let the tax abatement committee know if there was questions on that.
I will find, what's next slide, so there's no real estate and substantial compliance.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hopper, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes unanimously.
I'll find lines that precision metal, personal property, and substantial compliance.
Motion by Mr. Hopper, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll find alternate personal property and substantial compliance.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hopper, second by Mr. Foster. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All right, any other business from the council members? All right, other miscellaneous business, Corporation Council,
Nothing further.
Controller. Controller
Right?
and the mayor's office.
I have nothing.
All right, thank you, everyone, and we are adjourned.